Hello everyone, how you doing? Danny here. Well, I've been out there doing some research and looking for some more rocker stone and or wood markers. And it's been probably about 2 weeks now, week and a half, something like that. And so far I haven't come across anything that fits my satisfaction. So what I'm doing today, I'm in my studio obviously. I've pulled out some of my own personal artifacts, and these are the ones I usually I don't pull them out or show them unless I do seminars. When I do a seminar, I set up like a Bigfoot museum, and they're my own artifacts of evidence, and I have an array of them, and it kind of sets the mode when I do seminars, because people, they go approach this and they look at them and they got a lot of questions. And basically what I'm giving you is a whole hell of a lot of evidence that I've collected throughout the years. And like I said, these are my own personal effects. And even down to real evidence that I have collected throughout the years too, which I do let people view them at seminars I do. So today I thought I'd pull out a couple of them for a reason. That way I could explain to you about the importance of finding, when you find evidence, as I did not too long ago by the pond, which would be your, the rock and stone markers. Okay, and also I've found some wood markers up here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you some here. These are the ones I do have. I have cataloged and documented approximately 9 wood markers of different types, and an additional 10 rock and stone markers. Okay, so that's a total of 19 different types of markers that these hybrid hominins, that they use for communication reasons, and also their symbolization of a certain entity or a place, and an array of others. Okay, nonetheless, they do use this as a source of communicating. They also use these as a directionals. In other words, where they could they'll leave up a symbol that symbolizes, say, water, a place to go get water, and which I would call, as a directional to the water. And they do set up different types of markers to symbolize that. Now the other thing is this. I started documenting all this about 13 years now, and to be quite frank and quite honest, when I first started doing this, of actually documenting everything, which I've been doing for the last straight 13 years. I'm telling you right now, and hey, it's just the way it is. Things turn out like that, but what I'm trying to get at is, when I first came into the scene, and there was quite a few researchers out there, okay? Very few of the real type, like me, very few, and quite a few hoaxers out there, and I think you all know that, okay? And I could tell you some names on them, but I don't have to. I think you know what I'm talking about, who I'm talking about, okay? And the bottom line is, and I'm even talking about people that have already been up there, you know, a little bit in the limelight of it, so to speak, when I got started. And I do know these people. I've reminisced with them and whatever. Some of these people you would know because you see them on TV or in documentaries. And again, I'm not going to mention no names. I think you can kind of figure that out yourself. But nonetheless, to be quite honest and quite frank, none of these guys, none of these researchers at that time have ever recorded and documented these type of markers via by wood or via by rock and stone. And damn sure don't know what they were looking for and how to look for it, where to look for it, and even if you don't even know what you're trying to find, how can you? It didn't exist until I came in the picture. So basically what I'm saying is I am the guy, as a researcher, that is the only one that have cataloged and documented these type of markers. Now what you're seeing right now is one of my own, this is one of my favorite photos, okay? Now what you're looking at right now has a lot to do with anthropology. And why is that? Because basically what you're looking at is a piece of evidence that me and Garland came across about, I think it was about maybe 7 years ago. And up in one of the highest points of this here in the Nevada mountains, okay? And as you could tell, it's in the winter. What you're actually viewing right now, it's a decoy that was built and put together by these hybrid hominins. This was not done by man. And damn sure ain't nothing natural. No, this was literally put together, this decoy, by a group of hybrid hominins that was in this vicinity. That I have documented on that group for years. Now, when we came across this, it blew our minds, to be quite honest. And we never seen anything like this. And the reason I say this is related to anthropology for the simple reason, because there's two different types of early human species that these Sasquatch we know today, or Bigfoot, but I prefer to call them a hybrid hominin because that's what they really are in reality. They got this practice from their origins, which is two particular types of early hominins that lived 2 million years ago, who also had been known to build decoys. And decoys for what? They built decoys for fowl and deer. Now, as you're looking at this decoy right here, what does it appear to you? What does it look like? Well, if you were there on the spot when we were viewing this and studying it, it is a decoy of a deer. Okay? Now, the vicinity where this was at, there is quite a few deer that come through this area. And that's probably why they set it up there. We did some really good video on this in all aspects and angles of it. And I'm telling you, I mean, there's no way you could duplicate this as a human. You can't do it. I mean, these guys got a particular special way how they interlock wood and how they work with it. You can't duplicate it. I'm telling you right now. Nonetheless, this, in my opinion as a researcher, I think is one of the biggest finds in our time in anthropology. You see, because the ones who study, who did a lot of writing in the books of science, to see, so to speak, in anthropology, it is, yes, it is documented and written that, yes, it is a fact that two particular groups of early hominins did actually build decoys. And like I said, one for fowl, one for deer. Okay? Now, here's the ironic part about it. The two particular hominid species I'm talking about is Erectus and Ergaster. Okay? They both practice this. Now, you got to ask yourself, if they were doing this 2 million years ago, what the hell is this doing up here right now? Just a few years ago. How can you explain that? You can't. Except the only explanation is this. That, yes, it is a fact that these hybrid hominins are, without a doubt, straight related to Erectus and Ergaster. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a fact. I've taken several types of these photos, and I have contacted several universities around the country in anthropology, and I sent this to them. You know what? I never got one single response back. Not a damn one. How unprofessional is that? I would think some of them would have a little bit more, how would I say, common sense. Maybe a little bit more respect for anthropology to just admit it. Just admit it. Because you see, the thing is, none of them that practiced in that study have ever found something like this or even came across it. And that is a fact. That is a fact. So, you know, when something is written and stamped, sealed, delivered, so to speak, they don't want to change it, okay? And mainly because you have, you know, in my own experiences, you deal with a lot of frickin' arrogance. And I mean a lot of damn arrogance. And they won't admit to it. Because the simple reason, if they admit to it, you know, we have accomplished something that none of them could. Not a damn one has ever come up with something like this. And this is for real. You know what I'm saying? So, the ones that built this decoy, you damn right, they're breathing, they're living, and they're reproducing. And yes, these are hybrid hominins. Okay? I just wanted to show you that. Now let's get down to the nitty gritty. Okay. We'll move up to here. There we go. Now, what you're looking at right now is a variety of different wood markers, okay? And this is my own sketches. And I like sketching, you know, because it puts it really in detail. And I know for a fact, if anybody that does real research out there, if you are looking at this video, and if you're studying these wood markers at all, I'm more than sure, in fact, I'm more than positive that you have came across them one time or another. And maybe didn't even know what it was, or you just walked by it and not realizing what it was. Okay? Now, in this picture frame, you have, I believe there's 9 of them. You got 9 different cataloged and documented wood markers. Now, each one is a symbol of something. Each one is also a point of communication. This is how they communicate with each other. You see, they can't talk. They can't talk. Their vocal cords they're not fully developed. I have heard quite a few different types of vocalization throughout the years, and including what I call gibberish. But to actually talk in some type of a language that's not happening for the simple reason, like I said, their vocal cords are not fully developed yet. But does not mean that the time may come that they might develop enough where they can converse in some type of a conversation. So, that being said and done, this is why the importance of the markers are, because it is nothing but about communicating. Okay? And here's one big one. You see the X? Well, what do you think? That's there because Garland and I are the very first researchers on the books, period, ever, that found the X marker. We explained to you what it meant, what it stood for, and what it symbolized. Not only that, what we discovered and found was the largest X marker ever recorded. So, I am the founder of this. Nobody else. That is just a plain fact. Look it up for yourself. Now, do you think I just made all this up? How could I? Hell no, this is what I actually came across. My job after that is to break it down and understand what they mean. Okay? Say for instance, you have the two wood markers, and you see how they're snapped. Those are breaks, and they break them and see how they're in opposite directions, and it's also like an area where you can walk through. What that particular wood marker is, I classified that as the gate, and because if you look at it, it kind of looks like a gate, and you have like a entrance to walk through. It's a gateway to water. Okay? Whenever I found water sources out middle of nowhere, this is the kind of marker I would come across. So when these hybrid hominids would come across and they see this kind of a symbol, they know there's water. And that is how they communicate. So each one of these that you're looking at has a different type of meaning. Now let's just say the X marker. The X marker is as large as the one that we found, which is huge. And what it means basically, it's territorial. Loud and clear. This is my territory, don't you dare even step into it. And the larger the X marker, the louder the speaking. In other words, if you enter an area like this with a very large X marker, if I were you, I'd do about face and just leave. Because bad things just may happen to you. It's not only telling you this is our territory, do not enter. It's also giving you a big warning. Kind of like raising a red flag. You know, just like Lost in Space. Danger, Will, danger. Get it? Yeah, whatever. Joking around. Anyway, you get the picture. And I'm more sure, like the ones to the left on the bottom, that's a tree and a tree. As you're looking at the one tree is upside down. I know there's ones that have come across those. Okay? Anyhow, I wanted to show you that to let you know that I do know my shit when it comes to these markers. Now let's go over here. Here we go. Now this is rock and stone markers. Just a little bit of difference, wouldn't you say, between the wood markers. Now, These ones that I've cataloged and documented, and these are my own sketches too. Uh, and as you can tell, each one is not the same. They all have their own entity. Now, the large stone marker you see at the bottom, now I'm going to tell you what, Garland and I found that in a little place just below Oregon called Helena. We've done research there for a couple of years. We ended up calling it Hell, for the simple reason that the hybrids that dwell in that vicinity are very, very aggressive, and I mean aggressive as hell. And you do not want to wander around there at night. Take my word for it. We've been chased out of there probably about 3 or 4 times. We've had debris thrown at us. Intimidation by different types of vocalization. I mean, they've actually come damn near into our camp. So it's not a place it's not a joke. Take my word for it. You better have some big ass cojones to enter in those part of the woods. Nonetheless, the larger stack of stones you see there, that was there. And in reality, it was about 6 feet in diameter and about 5.5 feet in height. Each one of those stones had to weigh, and there were different types of sizes. They weighed anywhere from 50 pounds to 100 pounds and 100 plus pounds. And the funny thing about it is when we found those kind of stones that it was built with did not come anywhere in the area. They were carried there. So, you're not going to have no human being out there in the woods, carrying around stones that damn heavy for distance, okay? Just ain't going to happen. And what does it mean? Okay. I have come to find out through the years that you're a little bit more intelligent type of hybrid would rather prefer to use the wood markers. Okay? The ones that are a little less intelligent than them, they prefer the rock and stone markers. Okay? Even some of these markers, to be quite honest, some of these stone and rock markers you see were even used 10,000 years ago. 10, 15,000 years ago. They were still using them. That is a fact in anthropology. That is a fact. And of course, they could never document things like that in anthropology for the simple reason that those items are not there anymore. I mean, you're talking about millenniums ago, correct? So, and what did that mean, the big stack of stone? They're telling you very loudly, this is our territory, we are very territorial, and we will take care of business if you enter our realm. And that is exactly what they're stating right there. It's big, it's huge, and it's loud. You go around the woods and you come across something like this out of nowhere. I mean, you really got to think, what the hell am I doing here? Or what did I just enter? And these are all, like I said, these are all different types. And they stack them in a variety of different ways. And each one, like I said, has its own symbolization of what it means. Which in reality, if you can't figure it out, only they know what they mean. So, that way there, I wanted to educate you guys a little bit on the rock and stone and the wood markers, okay? And I just also wanted to let you know that yes, I do know what I'm talking about when I come to these items. Okay? I mean, I should. I'm the one that cataloged it. So, next time I go out in the woods, you know, and I pick up some more markers, just take my word for it, you know, what it is. And if I can't figure it out what they are, I'll admit it. And there is a few that I have not have an explanation for, and that's a fact. But these here I do. Okay? But like I said, I give you one more look. And anybody that is a real researcher, like I said, if you see this video, now you got a really good basic idea of what could be out there. Okay? Now you got an understanding of what some of these mean. Okay? So, that being said, guys, God, I love this one right here. You know, I gotta really be honest with you guys. This really blows my mind how they will not even recognize this. It's just, my God, you know, some of these people, you know, if they didn't do it, you know, you're full of crap and everything else. Oh, this is a fake, this is a hoax, and what the hell ever, you know? I don't know. I'm a different type of person. Hey, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I admit it. I have no problem with it. I mean, hell, that's part of being grown up, and that's called part of being having maturity. Don't you think? Well, I sure do, and I stand by that. Period. So, and I think so should they. I mean, you know, they need to get off their arrogant ass and admit to it. That they don't know everything they think they know. Besides, they don't go out and crawl around like a cockroach out here in the woods like I do. They don't like to. They're too arrogant. They want to get dirty, get their little dainty fingernails all dirty. Oh, kidding aside, but I'm not. Hey guys, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to be back out here shortly, and I got a lot of work to do, and my main objective right now is I want to find some of these lava caves and tunnels that no human being has even been in yet. That is my objective this year, and I will tell you, when I find the right one, I will find some stuff that will blow everybody's mind, including mine. Yeah. Okay. Hey guys, I gotta go. You gotta go. We all gotta go. Guys, take care, man. Have a good weekend that's coming up too. Catch you later. Bye.